If it is that we will base ourselves in all that is known about the planet Venus, for it seems, we will have to admit that you don't know anything of it. Nevertheless, you can consult the books in the binary thing, like for a binary idea, like a reference to a match of the same one, as well as to consult the abundant material of many contacts that have been there. As George Adamski and other ones, at least, it has to be this way, because it will be an information more. Although not the most important, it can until be the more ones, and the most important, and the reasons can be several ones, as those that they will make to the same value of this cortege, a value that could give a certain value to the reality of existing in the earth, but anything of this can be in perfect combination towards certain structure. It is not that the things have to be of the precise cortege, like in this case the reality of Venus. Venus is much newer than the same Earth. What could until to say that the life was first in Venus, when before it was set first in the same Earth, and they separated the first parts of the last one, when the Earth decided to separate that part and to throw it to the brown combined space to already give origin to Venus, like a part of the Earth combined but amputated, and this cortege is what made of that. One could until saying that it is the cortege of Venus, so it is illogical that the life in Venus had been very of agreement, and it is according to the same terrestrial concept. It is as saying that Venus is reflected in the Earth in the direct way in everything, and if in the Earth a certain fact is given, for example, the same fact happens in Venus, with the direct time also combined. You from the Earth see the planet Venus easily. Therefore, then from there, they also see you much more direct still. And you see the moon, let us say, until 3 times bigger. So for the Venus people to go and to come to the Earth is the simplest things. Also that the concept of the distance is similar to the same one that you have toward the moon, but 3 times more approximate. Only understanding the intermediate suns, it can understand each other the distance so near of Venus, or rather of the Earth to Venus. Because binarily living from the Earth to Venus, it is as that the warps of the trip of the light makes that the distance bigger, but in fact it is less. Without this means to take shortcuts to arrive, it is that to this you should see when the Earth becomes oval, not round. Then inside the oval of the distance, in certain part of its journey, the distance becomes shorter because Venus is oval. This is a binary real cortege. What beings? Beings as you. We will say without any difference, like for a comparison, the tall and beautiful blonde beings, but it depends on what phase of Venus they are, because the combination of races are so many that the basic race will be the blue and green skin of many of them, and the conformation of their temporary edges that they are their temporary edges, the triangular head. That is to say, they have the triangular head, with the parting tip of the triangle down the chin and up in the Y part. Then everything the rest is similar to you, alone that their physical necessities already have other combinations overcome, as eating, feeding, everything. It is part of a methodology similar to you, but with only energy assimilation and everything. It is a saying that if they eat, all that they eat no longer leaves their organisms. Everything is already inside of transform it into energy that they call magnetic pulses, and those pulses allow them to assimilate everything. Therefore, their energy powers never finish, and the process of deterioration doesn't exist alone when they want to copy it or to take out of the mirror titanium neutron, but then they are mortal. They exist in Venus different layers of the phenol that in fact is a gas, but that has become a stone layer that from their same, it is that many of the stone ships also come, those that Huguito has captured in the picture. That is for the terrestrial flat calcareous stone, it is the same one, although so much of different sulfur. This is from where these gases have been extracted, because all the terrestrial stones, those that you know, they move to a certain speed in the space-time, as well as in the same matter, giving diverse and dispersed origins to all that one cannot see, more than as static in the land of the earth, in the concerning thing to the stones, besides other things. Here it is need to end up understanding the diverse mechanisms of these mechanics of movements to be able to be expressed the same one in a technology as so that the same one can ascend the diverse state and slope of evolution. The arrival of these cortèges and its symbols of diverse riddles and jokers as well as cars for everything it, like a form of splendor of the cover energy toward a pressure of symptoms. For it is said that this cortege, it has been communicated with divers and many contactees of the earth, that all they have great part of that riddle, as well as of the jokers and of the cars. A joker is in this case, it's also a kind of code, but that it belongs to the net Venusians. It is from where each complex part of the ramification of time makes that there are necessary many forced forms of situations, so that the same ones can give a better understanding power and until of comfort to this cortege type. And when we say comfort, it is when we refer to the strict things very comfortable in fact, and digitated of the concept, because this cortege is a comfortable cortege and very of being in this situation from its own new descendants to its own but adapted concepts. Venus is a tripsacoma dispresedo. It is a door of distance or concept parcel for where other forms of life are expressed, as it was a federal capital together of those level of situations. If you had to settle down with knowledge of the concept life there, it is the same thing that not to know how to make it in the Earth, or in Mars, and although all the other well-known planets, all are inhabited, those that are not, will be for diverse forms of plants that establish the confederation. So by means of the situation give for an explanation channel 1 for a logical consideration of that expansion, as soon as it is referred to aspect that can enter inside a form more than culturization. The citizenship of Venus comes harnessed to the scientific knowledge of the own, the Spicedo, so for its polarification, for where the basic arteries of their pressure have been channeled. A pressure is the same artery of that pressure that in terrestrial terms it would be as saying that all the illnesses should be eradicated of the air, so that the Venusians they will come not so much because they will suffer those illnesses, but because the all illnesses will be rather those affected. Now that combining the direction of the frequency all can be digitated to what it is, as the comfort that the Venusian will require before to have to wait for them discomforts, understanding what it is very well. The citizenships of Venus as for the means of expression of living inside one polydremo, in the case of Venus rather to be skirting this polydremo, and to give it covered with stone for all sides that are the idiomatic concepts that they know. But it is not enough for you, the specialists obtaining materials, those contactees, Satansky and others that have a vision of Venus, but not to make a mistake with the concept of Jupiter. Because in this type of citizenship, crossing it is where until the own concept of life is the same one for all the empty alteration of its crowns, being a crown one of its more important radiated power of generation of life and life, just as that concept is now. Insisting with the concept life and the concept citizenship, it is in this type of cortege of Venus, for which the expression follow the role that you are not to be, but rather to deserve. But it those contactees that have been communicating with the beings from Venus are bearing what corresponds to their cause, all the information that they have in respect, only that many of them are needing everything that you have and you will have. Now they begin to travel in certain parts of the space, or they will make it very soon, when in the binary worlds we will live to the space transported after paying a certain price for a while to a certain organization that will give them that. Certain it is to know that any difference doesn't exist. among that they have left the astronauts much before instead of you, or in representation of you that now you as great public will make it, that the same as to travel to any side of the globe, anyone that has to pay the price can make it. What this doesn't say about that citizenship or that benefit will be real or of a lot or utility, or when the cortege arrived, because many before many others have been coming out to the external space and to many other places in the astral plane, in the mental one, or like the, or it is said that this cortege type to the being from Venus doesn't offer the tickets so much of going as a turn to go on to come when you want it or when it can win it. Toward Venus, nevertheless, neither that is impossible, it can be much rather combinable.